What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to SoCal Exploring, your number one stop for all theme park updates and haunted attraction news. Today we have a fan favorite video that I put out every single year for all you Halloween Horror Nights fans, and that's right, today's video will surround my most anticipated Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood 2019 mazes. I'm going to be listing them from least anticipated to most anticipated. We're going to be talking about all the details on why I think this certain maze deserves a certain spot in my rankings, and a little bit about what I can expect from those mazes in particular. And before I start the video off, I just want to say these are my opinions. This is just my opinion based on what I think is going to be placed in these exact mazes. So if you have a different list, I want to know what you guys think down below in the comment section, what your anticipation list is. But again, this is my opinion. We have a killer lineup, and a lot of people are judging it too much, saying that it is not going to be a good year, but I guarantee you guys, this is probably one of the best lineups I have ever seen in a while. I think this lineup is going to be great. So with that being said, let's hop right into my most anticipated Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood 2019 mazes. As always, if you aren't already, make sure to check us out on social media at SoCal Exploring Media on Instagram and at SoCal Exploring on Twitter, and click that subscribe button if you want to see more HHN content like this. We're in full HHN gear with those bell notifications on. And lastly, visit our website SoCalExploring.com for more detailed theme park updates and haunted attraction news. Like I said, I'm going to go from least anticipated to most anticipated. So sitting at number 9, Holidays in Hell, Music by Figure. Now the reason why Holidays in Hell is so low on my list at the very last listing is because we saw it in a scare zone last year. Now I know a lot of people will say that it is different when it's in a maze, and it is. It really is different when it's in a maze, but I truly believe that Holidays in Hell won't live up to the expectations of a maze. I believe we will just feel like we're going through these scare zones just with a more updated version and a couple more holidays added. As from the scenic elevations and everything that John Murdy and Chris showed us at Monsterpalooza 2019, it appears that it is just a more updated scare zone and a more confined space and listed as a maze. Although we will have the Christmas in Hell scare zone at the end of it, the scare zone is a lot different from the maze, and I truly think that this maze isn't going to be that great. I still think it's going to be beautiful, and the sets are going to be a lot better than the scare zone. However, I feel like I'm just going to be walking through a gauntlet more than just a maze. The facade looks great though. The artwork is absolutely beautiful, and I'm really hoping this maze goes up a little bit in my rankings, because I love when Universal does originals, as us over here in Hollywood don't typically get original mazes. Number 8 is Jordan Peele's Us, based on the hit movie. Now, a lot of you guys are wondering, why is Us so low? Well, that's because Us was a replacement maze. I don't know exactly what it replaced, but as you can see from construction, it has started very, very late. And this movie requires a lot of detail, but they don't have that much time to complete it, as they're still working fast to get it done. We are only 20 short days away from Halloween Horror Nights 2019, Hollywood that is, and they have started construction maybe about 3 weeks ago on it. So it has been a very last minute maze. That is the only reason why I'm ranking it so low. Nonetheless though, I think we're going to be seeing all of our favorite characters, all of our favorite iconic scenes in the movie, and I think it will be pulled off greatly. But it was a last minute maze, and that is why it is so low on my list. Number 7 is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Now, Killer Clowns from Outer Space will be located in the Mummy Queue, and this maze is sure to give all nostalgia fans of Killer Clowns from Outer Space a fright and a throwback to the past. No matter when you watched it, if you are old enough to watch it back when it came out in theaters, or if you have just recently watched it, this maze is really going to stay true to the movie, and that is why I'm excited to it. I love this movie so much. It has such a special place in my heart as far as my favorite horror movies goes, and that is why it is where it's at. Unfortunately though, as we can see if we go out to the park, there are lots of black walls at the end, so that's the only thing that concerns me about this maze. Nonetheless though, I think it's going to be a wacky, a fun, and a terrifying maze with these killer clowns from outer space. Number 6 is Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, which is currently being constructed in the Waterworld Queue location. Now if you go to the park, you can see the facade is already up, and it looks great. Although facade 8 years ago did look a lot better, this one looks more painted on, and even though it is a tight space, they still could have done a little bit more with it. But that's enough about the facade. The maze is going to take us to encounter Captain Spaulding himself and the Firefly family. Now I put this maze at this particular ranking because I'm super excited for it. I loved it 8 years ago when I walked through it and experienced it. By the way, real quick, this is going to be my 10th year going to Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood 2019. That's insane. I can't believe I've been going for that long. But I did love it when I walked through it 8 years ago. It was a great maze, and I truly believe with the effects that they have nowadays and the different resources that they have nowadays, that this maze is going to be even better than the mazes in the past. I think it's going to be phenomenal, and I think we are sure to be horrified as soon as we walk out of this maze in particular, because if you watch the movie, it is a horrifying and gory movie. You want to make sure to check it out. Number 5 is the Curse of Pandora's Box. Now this is the announcement that we got on Wednesday, which was the last announcement and completed the HHN Hollywood lineup. This is our second original this year. Typically, like I said, we don't get that many originals, and that is why this is at my number 5 spot, because the Curse of Pandora's Box seems a lot better planned out than Holidays in Hell. The Curse of Pandora's Box seems very terrifying. I like the facade. It started scenic today actually, and it is looking great already. From the description and from everything that I read and from what Murdy has been saying on Twitter, Curse of Pandora's Box is going to be a brilliant maze. It's going to use a lot of UV lighting, so it's going to be a very pretty and vibrant maze. It's going to be very aesthetically pleasing while at the same time scaring us to death, while Pandora herself terrifies us and we travel through the netherworld of Hades and the underworld, and we travel into Pandora's box. Number 4 goes to Universal Monsters Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, music by Slash. This is currently being constructed in the Metro set area, and Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman is at number 4 because this year in particular, compared to last year, Universal Monsters mainly focused on all different characters, all different Universal classic monsters, so they all had small little rooms. Well, this year they're focusing mainly on Frankenstein meeting the Wolfman, based on the film a long while ago. I don't know exactly what the year was, but they're focusing solely on that story, and it's telling more of a story, unlike just going through a bunch of classic monsters rooms, which I really like and I'm really excited for. And really, this is the maze I really don't know a lot about. I haven't heard any details around it. I know exactly how it's going to play out, but I haven't heard any rumors or speculations of sorts from what's going to be in this maze. So I think it's going to be a really great maze, and it's going to be pulled off well with the score done by Slash. It is a brand new score, by the way. It is completely different music from Universal Monsters, so I'm very excited for that as well. I think Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman is going to be a beautiful maze where we get to encounter Frankenstein and the Wolfman again. Number 3 is Netflix's Stranger Things. Now, Stranger Things last year came out on my number 2 spot for the overall rankings on the maze after I actually experienced the mazes. But this year I'm putting it on my number 3, and that is because the Demodogs are coming this year, and I'm really hoping that the maze just isn't filled with puppets. However, the Demodogs are terrifying themselves, and them jumping out at us from unexpected corners is going to be absolutely horrifying. I'm really excited to see how big the sets are, because it is in Soundstage 29 again, so these sets are probably going to be huge. It's probably going to be a very long maze, and I'm very excited to encounter characters like the Mind Flayer. I think this maze will be a lot more effect heavy than the last year's maze was, Stranger Things Season 1, and this Stranger Things maze will be based off Season 2, and I'm very excited for the bonus scene at the end from Season 3, which we don't know. A lot of people are speculating that it will be the Battle of Starcourt Mall, but who knows? Guess we'll just have to wait and see when we walk through the maze. Number 2 is Ghostbusters, which a lot of people are saying that it's too much of a comedy. Well, it's not. Ghostbusters is a horrifying movie nonetheless, and they have comedy aspects in it, but it is not more a comedy. It is more a horror film in my eyes. We're going to see characters like the Library Ghost, Slimer, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. This movie is such a good movie, and I'm very happy that it is finally coming as a maze this year, as most people wanted to come as a maze, and I was one of those fans who wanted to come as a maze. And from the trailer and all the details, it already looks amazing. And have you guys seen the facade for this already? It's being constructed in the Metro set area. The facade is hands down one of the largest, if not the largest, facades that I've seen at any HHN event. It is going to be phenomenal. The maze is definitely going to deliver, and it's going to be great and beautiful and stay true to the movie of Ghostbusters. And that leaves my number 1 spot to Creepshow, my most anticipated maze for this year. Now, Creepshow, when Murdy described it at Midsummer Scream, I was automatically so excited. I'm glad that they didn't base it off solely just the TV show or solely just the movie. It is actually a combination of both the movie and the TV show that is releasing this year on Shudder. I believe it is September 26th, and the movie will be based off 3 of the tales that they tell in there, and they will have 2 of the tales that they tell in the TV show at the end of the maze. Now this maze is going to be jam-packed. It is going to be absolutely beautiful, and the Creep Show was one of my favorite movies as a kid, and it is going to be beautiful. I am so excited for this maze because the maze location is very big. It is behind the wall in the Metro set area. It is very large, which means there is going to be tons and tons of stuff that we get to experience while walking through Creep Show maze. This will be a very long maze, and I'm very excited for it. All the different tales. We won't just be experiencing one tale in particular. We will be experiencing tons and tons of tales, and we will be encountering the Creep himself throughout the maze, transitioning from each tale, and at the end and the beginning. That is what I'm most excited for, especially to see the Creep in his character version himself. That is going to be terrifying. I mean, have you guys seen him? He looks absolutely horrifying. And that is my most anticipated list for Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood 2019 mazes. I hope you guys agree with my list, at least to some extent. I think it was a pretty solid list. I thought about it a lot, and I'm really hoping that my list stays the same and I don't like bump Stranger Things all the way down once I walk through it. I hope it stays the same, and I hope my predictions are right. Like I said, they're just my opinions, so I want to know what you guys think down below, what your most anticipated maze list is down in the comment section. It'd be cool to see all of your guys's and see what you guys think of this year's lineup. But with that being said, that wraps it up for this video. So make sure to check us out on social media at SoCal Exploring Media on Instagram and at SoCal Exploring on Twitter, and click that subscribe button if you want to see more HHN related content and theme park content with those bell notifications on. Lastly, visit our website SoCalExploring.com for more detailed information regarding theme park updates and haunted attraction news. HHN is 20 days away. That is exciting stuff, everyone, and we will be there covering the full event, fan preview night, and opening night. So if you see us, make sure to say hi. It's 20 days away, but we have tons and tons of HHN content coming out for you all. I'm meaning tons. And you guys know, the loyal fans who have been here for a while, you all know I just produce as much HHN content to get you guys excited as possible. I will be releasing a full HHN guide within the next week or so you guys can more plan your trip in a better way and get ready for all that stuff and everything. And that will be coming out very soon. So like I said, subscribe. Positivity is key. Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood 2019. You can get your tickets at www.halloweenhorrornights.com. I will see you on the next one, and most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace.